Okay, so I'm Gemma. I'm a GPhC inspector and I'm a pharmacy technician. I'm happy to speak about my sort of career to date at the end if there's any questions. But I'm here just to talk about an introduction to inspecting pharmacies. Um, so we've got a few types of different inspections. One is random sample. We've got re-inspections that happen at 6 months. That tends to be when a pharmacy doesn't meet the standards for registered pharmacies. Newly registered premises, assurance calls and visits, which tend to be around any concerns raised. And it's a risk-based program of work. So we also assist with the investigation and collection of evidence in terms of fitness to practice and help the investigations team. Okay. So just looking at example of things that you would need to consider to meet the standards for registered pharmacy premises. So when we talk about risk, we mean managing the risks to patient safety. So the first principle in the standards for registered pharmacies is about having the right governance systems in place and processes to keep patients safe. So not all pharmacies will provide the same services. So it tends to be a bit different in different pharmacies. And they need to be able to demonstrate that the services are delivered safely and they can be delivered safely every day. So on the screen, you'll see some questions that you'll need to consider around if your pharmacy is meeting the standards. So have you got systems and processes in place to be able to manage the risks associated with the services that you're providing? And do you keep records of near misses and errors and incidents and and have any changes been made to how the pharmacy operates following an incident or a near miss? And how you sell medicines that may be subject to misuse, so codeine containing products, and how do you control the sales of them to prevent misuse? So in terms of an inspection overall, you may come across an inspection when you've joined the register. You may have already come across an inspection when you're working in a pharmacy. So this is just a brief overview of what happens during an inspection. So the inspector will come in and introduce themselves to the pharmacy team members and explain how the inspection will work. So there's 5 principles in the standards for registered premises and 26 standards in total underneath this that the pharmacy has to meet to get standards met. So evidence is collected through observation, questioning team members, and talking about scenarios, and we do a lot of documenting during the inspection. So the inspector will be looking for evidence about how the pharmacy meets the standards for registered pharmacies, and we say this is very much a show and tell approach. At the end of the inspection, the inspector will provide feedback about any improvements that could be made or whether there are any real issues found within the pharmacy. And then a written report is provided. If the standards for the pharmacy are not met, an improvement action plan is also supplied for the pharmacy to make improvements. And then, if necessary, enforcement is used to protect the public. This is where we take statutory enforcement through an improvement notice, or the registrar can impose conditions or restrictions on the pharmacy to stop a certain service from happening where there is a risk to the public. So we do publish our inspection reports, so you can find them on the GPhC website. We have been publishing inspections since April 2019, so you should be able to find any inspections for your local area, and you can search by a range of criteria to find the information that's relevant to you. And this helps the public to inform them about the standards and what they can expect from pharmacies, and also to drive improvements in pharmacy services that are being delivered. Oh, and lastly, we have our Knowledge Hub, um, which I'm not sure if you can see there. I think I've clicked off it. Um, so this is where we publish any examples of excellent, good, or poor practice that we found during inspections, and you can quickly find relevant examples in the Knowledge Hub to use these to learn and improve um, for outcomes for patients and the public using your services.